Hi, this is Mr. Cordes, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Lord of the Flies, close reading passage for chapter 11. We have done a close reading now for chapters 2, 4, and 8. A lot has happened in our text, and the passage that we are specifically looking at today is when Piggy is murdered. We've already seen the death of Simon, or perhaps I should say we've seen the murder of Simon, the accidental murder of Simon, and now we are in the last few pages where Piggy is murdered and the boys start to run and hunt Ralph until they are rescued. If this book is just so fantastic because as you progress through and as you feel like, okay, it's almost over, but then something else happens. And here is when you've got complete separation of the boys. You've got Jack and everyone else who fears him. They're part of the hunters running around the island like savages. And then you've got Ralph, Piggy, and a couple of the little ones who are still together and still want to maintain order. They come together, they get in a huge argument. Ralph and Jack fight, and from way up above on the side of the cliff, a boulder is pushed, a huge rock is pushed, and unfortunately it comes down and crashes on Piggy, which is completely horrible. I'm not laughing at the death scene. It's tragic, and they're so symbolic, and it's so sad because Piggy has desired this entire time to create order, have order, and unfortunately he doesn't win. He loses. Let's look at our questions first, and then we will go into the passage. It's a very shorter passage than our other close readings, but there's, again, only 3 questions that we will answer completely. These answers will help us with our analytical paragraph. You guys have done 3 analytical paragraphs. We're on to our 4th. This has been a good way of analyzing literature in smaller chunks. So instead of doing a massive essay on Lord of the Flies, you are specifically looking at, hey, let's pull apart this one thing. What is the author's message here? And what's the literary element that we are discussing? So when we looked at chapter 4 in Jack's painted face, we looked at the colors and what that meant for Jack and William Golding's message to us as readers. So let's take a look here at, even in the first part, the rock struck Piggy a glancing blow from chin to knee. Poor guy. Let's look at our questions. Number 1 says, explain Golding, that's our author, explain the author's purpose in Piggy's death and the destruction of the conch. The conch is the shell that they have been using. Okay, this shell is what they've been using from the very beginning. So every time they say conch, this is what they've been referencing to. It's got a cut here on the side. They blow into it. This has been the symbol of authority. This has been the symbol of leadership, of rules. And so when they talk about this part, it's destroyed along with Piggy. It's very symbolic that they are destroyed at the same time because that's what Piggy has represented the entire novel. So explain the author's purpose in Piggy's death and the destruction of the conch. Why does the author kill off Piggy and the symbol of authority at the same time? Okay, why do you think he does that? Also, is Piggy's death even necessary at this point in the story? They could have continued on. Is his death, is his murder even really needed? Okay, make sure you explain why, because we've already seen the death of Simon, and there's a little bit of remorse and regret and shame. But the boys who did murder Simon just kind of keep going. There's no real regret. They're almost so desensitized to the murder that they just continue on to kill pigs on the island, to run around, beat each other up. It's complete chaos at this moment. So that's question number 1. Question number 2, the following line after the passage is as follows. This time the silence was complete. Ralph's lips formed a word, but no sound came. This is Ralph's shock to what has just happened. The only person that he has been able to hang on to since the death of Simon. Hey, there we go. The only person that Ralph has been able to hold on to is Piggy. The only friendship that he's had now that Simon is gone is Piggy. And so now that Piggy's gone, there's this utter like dismay, disbelief of what has happened. So explain Ralph's mental and emotional state at this moment in time and why. So what's going on for him? Okay, look at that line. Why does he go to speak, but then nothing comes out? The last question, it says, explain the significance of the ocean. Okay. Immediately after Piggy's death, the waves carry him out to sea, leaving no trace behind. After Simon's death, he drifts into the ocean with the tide. What may the ocean or sea or water symbolize in the story? Thoroughly explain your answer. We already know that they're trapped on an island, so water is all consuming. You see it with the death of Simon. The tide comes in and just slowly pushes his body out to sea, as where this one, it's much different. And we'll take a look just now. Okay, so those are our three questions we're going to answer. Let's take a look at the passage. Okay. It says, the rock struck Piggy a glancing blow from chin to knee. The conch exploded into 1,000 white fragments and ceased to exist. Piggy, saying nothing, with no time for even a grunt, traveled through the air sideways from the rock, turning over as he went. The rock bounded twice and was lost in the forest. Piggy fell 40 feet and landed on his back across the square red rock in the sea. Piggy's arms and legs twitched a bit, like a pig's after it has been killed. Then the sea breathed again in a long, slow sigh. The water boiled white and pink over the rock, and when it went sucking back again, the body of Piggy was gone. In chapter 8, when we have Simon talking to the Lord of the Flies, everything is really detailed and descriptive. Here, there's a lot more symbolism in the conch itself, right, being broken into shatters, also with the idea of how quickly he is taken away. So if you look, the rock comes down and crashes on his head. So when it says a glancing blow from chin to knee, the rock essentially just bombarded on top of him, hit him. He didn't even have time to make a response. Like, he looked, hit him. He couldn't even grunt. He travels, he falls down, and it says the rock bounded twice and was lost in the forest. Piggy fell 40 feet. That's a huge distance, 40 feet, and landed on his back across the square red rock in the sea. Literally just smash, right? I imagine his head hits the ground, brains go splattering everywhere. The point where it says Piggy's arms and leg twitched a bit, like his nervous system is reacting to that huge, gigantic impact. So imagine for a second someone falls off of a 2 or 3 story building. They hit, it is a flat smack right there. And just like I imagine like this decompressing, the brain splattering everywhere. It says Piggy's arms twitched, right? Like that, after death moment. It says like a pig's after it has been killed, which is super symbolic because Jack has already killed multiple pigs. He even left the big boar's head up on top of a stick. Then the sea breathed again. Here I am on the last line. In a long, slow sigh, and the water boiled white and pink over the rock. So all of a sudden the sea comes up and it's white, not foamy, but it's white from the movement, right? Comes up, encompasses over Piggy, scoops him up. It says sucking back again, and the body of Piggy was gone. That's how quickly he's lost. Right? This would have happened within a less than 10-second period of time where he's struck by the rock, he hits down onto the end, brains go splattering, body twitches, broken bones, sea comes swooshing up, grabs him, pulls him, he's gone. Okay. The very next line says, this time the silence was complete. Ralph's lips formed a word, but no sound came. So almost this disbelief of what has just happened. We have this character who has devoured authority so much and now is absolutely gone. It's tragic. It's absolutely tragic. Okay. So looking here, if you continue to read the chapter, they start to go after Ralph, and Ralph runs into the forest. And then chapter 12, I believe, is just like 3 pages it's so quick. Maybe I just lied to you. It's a little bit more than 3 or 4 pages, but the way that you read it, it just happens so fast, because the intensity is there. So take a moment. Let's go through, answer these questions. You want to make sure that you've got good, complete sentences. Couple of the biggest things here is what is our author trying to tell us, right? At this moment in time, civility is gone. All of the boys are completely savage except for Ralph and maybe 1 or 2 of the little ones. The idea of authority, which was symbolic in Piggy as well as the conch, completely disappeared. And that's how quickly someone can go from being civilized to savage. You have probably encountered or seen a video sometime of someone just losing it in the grocery store. They get in a car accident and people just blow up. Like something happens and they're just like triggered instantly. And so right here, take a moment because that's how quickly it happens. And Golding is saying, yeah, it's a 10-second thing where someone is murdered. Their entire being is destroyed and demolished and destroyed, and then they are swept away with no evidence whatsoever. It's not that they get to all sit and look at the body of Piggy and realize, oh my gosh, I just did that. And look at their actions. It's gone instantaneously. Okay. So take a moment, go through and answer these. If you're looking for a literary element, thinking towards your analytical paragraph, the literary element that you will probably use here is the symbolism, okay, of Piggy, the conch, what they represent. You can also use the detail and description. There's the metaphor, the connection between Piggy and a pig, okay, and kind of what that does in regards to Golding's message. All right, so take those things into consideration as you imagine and kind of begin to brainstorm about your analytical paragraph. Okay, answer these questions. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns as you write out your answers. Love this part. Love this book. It's just so good. It's just so good. I'll talk to you guys soon.